You need flour, yeast, sugar, and salt. Oh, and one more thing. Butter. Or oil. Weigh out 450 grams of flour. Close the bag. $300 milliliters of warm water. Now that water is a bit too hot, so I'm just going to cool down a little bit. If it's too hot, it will kill the yeast, because we're going to put the yeast in. Basically spot on, 41 grams of butter. Need a bit of salt, half a teaspoon. Gonna do a little bit less than half. Don't like too salty bread. And if you like, a bit of sugar. Different recipes call for different amounts of sugar. I read one that said 3 tablespoons, so I think that's too much. I'll go with 1. Still too hot. Need to melt the butter in the microwave. The butter just exploded in the microwave, so I'm just going to quickly clean it, and I need to measure the butter again. In fact, I'm just going to blend it with a bit of oil. All liquidy. Okay, I'm going to sieve the flour and the salt and the sugar. Well, it seems I've sieved out all the salt and sugar. I'm just going to bung that back in. I'm going to put the yeast in now, the water's warm enough. Mix it together. Now you need to let it rest for a bit till bubbles start forming on the top. And then you just need to let it rest for a bit. I hope that's bubbly enough because I'm getting bored. Butter and yeasty water, and mix it up. Once it's starting to solidify, then use your hands. I'm just going to wash them again just to be sure. Clean hands. Now it's all a bit bitty, so you've got to really knead it, press it together well. It's a bit sticky, so I'm going to add a bit more flour. Not too much. So I've added a bit more flour. The flour will absorb the moisture. Much better. So it's kneading, I'm kneading it. In some parts of Asia they knead with a giant bamboo pole. But then again, I think they're kneading more dough than this. You're meant to knead for about 5 to 10 minutes. The flour stops it sticking to the board. Love the way dough feels. When you're done kneading, you need to cover it in a bowl. A bit of oil in the bowl around it. That stops the dough sticking to the bowl. There. Oil is also tasty in the bread. Looks pretty good. You can already feel the air coming off the yeast inside. The yeast gives off air, and this gives the bread little pockets of air. Right. Now you want to wait. You want to cover it with a cloth, a tablecloth. No, not a tablecloth. A tea towel. You want to cover it with a tea towel until it doubles in size. You could use cling film so you can actually see it, but I'm just going to use a tea cloth. The proving is better if it's warm, so maybe find a warmer place. And while you're waiting for it to rise, to prove, it's time to clean up. So it's been about an hour now, and you can even see before, you can see that cloth's risen. Look at that. Look at that. That's brilliant. All right, I'm going to cover it again. The recipe says for 2 hours. Okay, it is got so much bigger. Check this out. The bowl was too small. It's huge. Okay, so the next step is I've got to knead it again to get the air out.
Oh, it smells amazing.
And for this now, I need to form it into a ball. I'm going to prove it one more time in its cooking receptacle. I'm going to use this. A bit of oil so it doesn't stick to the side. Rub it around. Make sure it's on the sides of every end. Okay. Now I want to get it to form, fill the bottom. Hopefully it's going to rise again. Hopefully it will fill that. Okay. All right, just need to cover it up again. And put it in the same place and wait for half an hour. Hopefully it will have risen again. I'd be very disappointed if it hasn't. Okay, so I've given it about half an hour, maybe a bit more. And let's see what we have under here. Oh yeah, look at that. Okay, that's gonna be nice. Okay, now just gonna put it in the oven at 200 degrees with the fan on, with the oven fan on. Okay, so now it's gonna be in the oven for 20 minutes. Can't wait. Time for the moment of truth. Woo! Turn it upside down and see if I can get it out. Oh, so easy. tap it. If it sounds hollow, it's ready. Does that sound ready? I don't know. I'll let it cool. Look at that. How professional does that look? Thumbs up for Mrs. Jenkins.